Alright, so for video 2, getting more nervous as I'm doing this, but for video 2, I'm going to show you how to do this in order to put it in the needle and get everything ready to take the shot. Alright, so first things first, what you want to do is get your Estrodiol bottle, take off the cap, and when you do, there's a little resealable rubber piece in the middle here. So when you inject the needle in there and pull it out, it'll reseal itself. But first things first, you want to sterilize the bottle. So get one of your alcohol swabs. You want to take it and just wipe everything off right in front here. Also, I recommend putting everything on a paper towel that you're using. This way, if you have to use say an alcohol swab more, or you have it on something and it's not touching a dirty surface. Whew. All right, so now you want to open your needles. Okay, so since this is the 22 gauge needle, what I'm going to do is take it off right now. Like that. Just twist it right off. And I'm going to put the 18 gauge needle on. So let's open this real quick. And yeah, I look like shit because it just cleaned off all my makeup, and my voice sounds like shit. I don't care, really, right now. I think my nerves are enough that I'm not really thinking about it. Alright, that looks good. Now, when you do this, it's important that you hold the bottle upside down. This will also help in preventing air bubbles and stuff like that. So put your bottle upside down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to inject this into the bottle, but you want to keep under the liquid line. You don't want to go above it because then you'll put air in it. So I'll explain the process and then just do it because I feel it's better. So what you're going to do is plunge it in. You're going to pull out the liquid into and you want to pull a little bit more than you're supposed to have. I'm going to be doing 0.5 or half. That's what my doctor told me is mine. So I'm going to go a little bit past that. Now the first time that I draw it, what I'm going to want to do is push the liquid back in to the bottle, and then pull the liquid back out. What this does is it helps it gets rid of air bubbles. And if you look and you still see some air bubbles, you want to keep on doing that until you have none. This is important because the thing is that though air bubbles are probably not really dangerous in your muscle, you do have veins, and if you accidentally get into a vein and you inject an air bubble in your vein, you're going to die. There's nothing you can really do about that. So you have to absolutely make sure that there is no air in here. Alright? Also, from what I've heard, is that if you do and there's an air bubble in there, what it will help do is, because the air bubble wants to push to the surface, it will push the medicine out of your body. So you don't want air bubbles. Like, no air bubbles. If you take anything away from this, that's the most important part. Alright, so what you're going to do then is you're going to draw out the amount that you need, which mine is going to be 0.5, and I have my bottle here, okay, just so people know, it says inject 0.5 milliliters every 14 days, okay? So that's where mine's at. That's common. 0.4, 0.5, that's pretty common, is the common amount. Alright, so now that you know all that information, I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick, show you how to do it, and then we'll go to the worst video for me right now, which is video 3. Also, even though this is not being injected inside you, you want to throw this needle after you're done into a sharps container as well. Just make sure all of this stuff goes into a container like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is take off and again, this is my first time doing it, so I apologize but you want to get this cap off here without stabbing yourself. Okay, alright, perfect. You take it, bottle upside down, stick the needle in, make sure that it's still in the liquid, that it's not in an air pocket. Then what you're going to do is slowly draw. And see, that's why it's important, because you're going to get air the first time. So what you want to do, because look at all that air in there, you don't want any of that. So push it all back in. Now you've got a decent amount of liquid in here, so you're not going to have any air. And then you just want to draw. And by the way, when you're doing this, you know, the amount that you're supposed to shoot, you want the top black stopper to be on that line. And it looks like I didn't get any air in there this time, but because I am worried about air bubbles, I'm going to do this one more time. So push it back in. And pull the amount that you need. And anybody that has done the shots that know, that can give, okay, I want to look at that and make sure. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there is no air whatsoever in there. Luckily I don't have to take this needle because it's fucking huge and it would scare the fuck out of me. Alright, so what you want to do is promptly twist the needle off. It comes right off. That goes into your sharps container, and then you put your needle that you're going to inject yourself with on. Okay. Again. Okay. So before, see, that's why. It's always good to just double check everything. I need a little bit more in there. Okay. But that's why it's always good to check. And see, I got an air bubble because I took it off and air got into it. So there's an air bubble. So push all of it back in. It's worth it to not kill yourself. You know, that's kind of the point, is not to. So, you know, if it takes you a few times just to be safe, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now it's at the half mark. Just a touch over because I want to make sure that I get all of my medicine And I'll show you so that you don't think that I'm like, okay, so see, there it is at the half mark, just like a little tiny bit more, just, yeah. Alright, so now, again, we'll put the other needle back on. Okay, like so. And the next video, well, it's gonna be the scariest one, so yay. Here we go.